Hello, my name is Mike Corey of the YouTube channel Fearless and Far with over 3 million subscribers. It's known as the most adventurous channel on YouTube, and after close to 100 countries and 15 years of doing this shit, I'm pretty good at it. This video is about your first adventure formula. If you've always wanted to travel but never pulled the trigger, this is the exact framework I'd use if I had to start all over again and had no experience. Number one, choosing your first country. If you've been daydreaming about travel for a long time, I'm sure you've got a bucket list of places you want to go. Some interesting questions in the beginning to see how friendly it is for first-time travelers. Is it affordable? Are the visas easy? Is there backpackers there? Is it a famous country for travel? These aren't the end-all be-all, but they will change your experience once you're there and also add extra or less difficulties into the trip. So some easy mode countries would be something like Thailand or Indonesia or Guatemala. These countries are relatively cheap, there's very little for visa requirements, and there's a ton of culture in all these countries. Medium would be something like India or Colombia or I guess maybe Tanzania. Some of those you need complicated visas. India is one of them, even though the backpacker scene there is big. Tanzania is kind of expensive to do what you want. Colombia is a little bit more on the sketchy side, and you kind of have to know what you're doing. And some hard mode countries would be Pakistan, Ethiopia, China. Extensive visa problems, very rewarding, but not the best for your first-time trip. You don't need to go hard mode right away. You need an easy lift to get your feet wet with the whole experience and understand that the world is a safe place that generally isn't too hard to travel in, but getting there and seeing and talking to others is the most important part. Nobody starts deadlifting 500 pounds, you know what I mean? Easy lift first, then move forward. Number two, the 10-day rule. The first trip you take could be 6 months long. You could see the whole world, but generally something smaller, a smaller bite is better. Make it 10 days. That's long enough to transform you, long enough to have a real adventure and not ruin your finances. You don't have to save up too much for a 10-day trip. And if you make it to one of the countries that's on the easy list, there's lots to see and it's cheap. Number three, budgeting. Let's say we did pick a country. Let's say it's Thailand. So there's three buckets. There's flights, accommodations, and daily spending. So for Thailand, it's a fantastic country that's very popular, but also at the same time not overrated, kind of like Mexico, another easy country. Thailand is cheap, there's a lot to see, and there's also a ton of other backpackers, which is key for your first trip. There's also enough local culture and tradition there to still have a real adventure, even if it is a bit popular. So breaking it down, a flight to Thailand, let's look it up. $800, $900. Hostels for a night, dorm bunk, about $15 a night. And this is key because in the beginning, what you want to do and how a lot of adventures, real adventures are sourced is by meeting other people along the way. And staying in these dorm-style hostels are fantastic for meeting people as well as getting let off in some random-ass adventure you never expect. Staying in an Airbnb used to be it, but now they're all basically hotels, and staying in a hotel is probably one of the worst things you can do because you're not going to find the source of a real adventure, which is just word of mouth. Food in Thailand is about $10 a day if you're eating street food, and transportation, I think it's $15 from the airport to downtown, and tuk-tuks are like $1 or $2. So generally, let's say you rent a scooter, it's like $8-10 a day. You're spending about that on average for transportation. The most important thing here is once you price all of this out, then it becomes much more manageable. So the total is about $1,230. This is like bare minimum budget backpacking for 10 days. If you have a couple extra $100, you can throw in bungee jumping and cooking classes and whatever else. But just understand, if you have this amount of money, you can have a great adventure in Thailand on a shoestring budget. And often, the best adventures start that way. Number four is just book the flight. Book it for next year even. You'll be able to figure it out along the way. We think we have to have everything ready, but how the brain works is once you commit and you put that in your calendar and you sink the money in, you can come up with $1,000 in a year, but the second it gets put in the calendar, it becomes real, not just a fantasy for the future. Make sure you lock it in. We'll cover a few other things at the end about how to do this, but remember, it's not going to feel real until you actually commit. Number five is travel light. One backpack, one carry-on. The lighter you travel, the freer you become. You don't need to go over a giant list of packing gear. You have to understand that the country you're going in, especially if it's in easy mode, well, honestly, any country in the world is going to have toothbrush, toothpaste, extra pair of sneakers, all that shit. Rain jacket. You don't have to pack for a fucking Armageddon situation here. The locals have the stuff too. You have to understand that the more you pack, the more you become a slave to the suitcase. Light is good and you can figure it out along the way. Number 6, stay where the adventure happens. Don't isolate yourself in a white-walled hotel room. While this is more comfortable, that's not the point of this adventure. Stay in hostels, go couch surfing, go to places, stay in places like guest houses when you can talk to local people or meet other travelers. They're going to have great ideas. They're going to have offers. One of the first times I did this, I did couch surfing, which is you get to stay on somebody's local's couch for free. I got there, he invited me to a local soccer game. This is in like rural Italy. And then from there, we got bombed, we partied with the locals, and we had a fantastic evening that you can't buy. I mean, you can buy a ticket to it, but I'd never know where to go or how to navigate it. It's all done in the local language, and we had one of the best experiences, one of the best parties I ever had, just by staying in a place with a local who has the info. The local person is your key, or other backpackers have the key too. When you arrive, you need more keys. Make sure you stay in a place where you can actually meet people. Number 7 is say yes more. If somebody invites you anywhere, go. Could be a cooking class. Doesn't matter if you're good at cooking or not. Could be a motorbike ride. Could be a local wedding or a festival or some temple you've never heard of. Or, like I said, a football game. The best stories are almost never planned. And coming from someone who's traveled a lot, all of my top tier travel experiences have come from meeting people, saying yes to something I didn't quite understand, and ending up in a situation where you're like, how the hell did I get here? Number 8 is the fear rule. If something feels slightly uncomfortable but not dangerous, you gotta move toward it. And that rule has changed my life. Fear is a compass. And that's exactly why you're traveling, is to have more experiences and more stories, not to stay inside your comfort zone. You have to understand that you can learn much more about the world and yourself from travel than you can from school. And that's exactly why we're going out there to begin with. Staying in a hotel and only doing the guided tours is an okay way to see some shit. But ultimately, we're looking for real adventures and real stories, not ones you can find in brochures. So, if you get an invitation or you feel like something's going to make you uncomfortable, could be a skydive, could be riding a motorbike, could be drinking with a bunch of local guys who are eating dried squid and some moonshine some guy brought back from his hometown. True story. There's a great adventure there. Don't be afraid. You're there to test yourself and test the limits of the world. And if you get diarrhea and a scraped up knee, good. Those are good stories for later. And speaking about stories, number 9 is to collect stories, not just photos. I've got a pet peeve about most of us travel the world these days just for that perfect Instagrammable shot they can get 100 likes on. That's not the point. Modern travel is broken. We do it for likes, not for actual experiences. When I first started, I used to travel for nature, to take photos of animals, and that's what got me started. But then over the years, what I remembered was the old farmer who gave us milk tea in the backwoods, or the guys who brought me out on their boat to go fish some sort of strange animal from the ocean, and we drank along the way. These experiences, again, aren't ones in pamphlets. What they are is just asking around and talking to people. Most countries in this world, if you arrive and you're genuinely interested in a person and their activity, they will invite you on board. They'll invite you into their world, their experience, and that's the whole point. Travel is broken again these days. We don't want to travel just for the photos. Photos are great. I made my job out of it. But you have to be able to find those human experiences, because you might travel for food or for culture or for nature like I did, but ultimately the thing that you leave with, that you remember for years, is the kindness and hospitality and experiences you had with humans. We connect with humans, not mountains, not the billy goat or the chameleon. We connect with another human, and that is what makes our hearts grow bigger, and we understand the world better. Sharing some vodka with the old fisherman. You know what I mean? And number 10 is the final challenge. I don't want you to just watch this and put it off again for later. I want you to open Google Flights or whatever app you use, pick a country, pick 10 days, price the trip. If you can afford it, book it. But if you can't afford it, we can still take action right now. I want you to go to your bank's webpage or call them on the phone and open another account inside your existing bank. Put in $10 or $100, whatever you've got, and put in a little bit more every single month. Watch that grow. This is your travel fund. Because again, the most important thing here is actually putting a flag in the actual earth, telling yourself, I'm committing to this. And maybe you can't commit to it tomorrow, that's totally fine, but you can commit to it in the future. And if you keep waiting and putting it off and not taking action, it's never going to happen. And I really want it to happen in your life. So open that second account, put in some money, little by little, watch it grow, and then take the adventure. This is just the very first episode in my travel series. If you want to see what I pack to go on adventures, how to travel more authentically, if you want my adventure checklist where I go over step by step everything you need to do in order to be able to travel, press the button below. There's a bunch of people, aspiring travelers and expert travelers like myself, where you can talk to and get the resources and tools and motivation you need. Also there, you can talk to me one-on-one. We do coaching calls every single week, and I can help you take that first trip. Press the button below, check out OXC, and I'll see you on the next video.